This video shows you how to troubleshoot the engine oil light which comes on your dashboard when you're driving or when you start your car. The probable reasons could be that the oil is dirty, or that you have an oil leak due to, say for example, a bad serpentine belt or worn out belt. It could also be simply that you're just low on oil, or that your vehicle has low oil pressure. Or it could be that your car's just come back from an interim or full service, and garages are notorious for just topping up little oil whilst changing the previous filthy oil, which would necessitate topping it up with the oil that's bespoke to your car's registration. The topping oil is in my boot, and you can see that my boot is open, so I will be retrieving it from the boot and then subsequently opening up the bonnet, with the lever at the top right of my foot, or pedals. So I will pull on the lever to get the bonnet opened, or pop up with an audible sound. This engine oil is bespoke to my car's registration, so make sure that you ask your local dealer to give you, the required oil that's suitable for your car. The next step would be to open up the engine oil lead anti-clockwise. My funnel has gone MIA, can't find it, so I improvised using, the quarter top of a soda can. I pretty much just cut off the first quadrant, from the top. So here I will take off, the yellow lid and use the funnel outlined from the plastic to top up me engine oil. But first I will be checking the dipstick to make sure that the oil that's there is below minimum, or at least at minimum level. So with a tissue I will clean the dipstick, infuse or insert that back into its channel and take a proper reading. And you can see that the minimum or maximum gauge is clean, so I will dip that back into its channel to see what the actual level of the engine oil is. I have dipped it back in and I will take it out, and you can see that the engine oil level is at its bare minimum, so it definitely needs some topping up, somewhere close to the max level. So I will stick the dipstick back in and proceed to top up, with some engine oil. Get the improvised soda funnel into position, and then pour some engine oil through the outline of the plastic funnel. And so what we're aiming for is for the top of the oil streak to be between the min and the max levels, so you don't overly need to fill it up to the max level. And so if the line of oil is close to the minimum marking, just like we've got here, you have to add around 1 litre of oil to top it up to the maximum. As a rough guide, it's best when the oil trace is roughly halfway between the lines or the min and max levels. And so from here we take out the dipstick and check the level that the oil has ascended to. Clean off the oil streak, dip it back in and take it back out, and take a reading to see if we've got the right level of top up. And as you can see, we've definitely got some streak progress, as the oil is anywhere between the min and max level guide, and you can see it's somewhat halfway through and before it gets to maximum, and it's halfway above the minimum level. And so I'm quite happy with that. So I'll just top it up with some more oil, but not, overly max it out to the point where it goes past the maximum threshold. So I'm only just, pouring a litre in. I've even got just a literal amount of oil left, so it doesn't do any harm to just get the leftovers into the engine block. So once the topping up is done, I will be taking out every foreign object debris, which is the funnel, the tissue and the oil can, away from the engine block, as they are alien to the engine at this point. You do not want to be closing your bonnet with this object in the engine. So I will be closing the cap clockwise and taking the final reading. I'm quite confident that I haven't maxed out the engine oil, and it should be, between the min and max levels somewhere, on the gauge. So I will repeat the process, take the gauge out, clean out the gauge spectrum, stick it back into the channel, take it out for a proper reading. which hasn't been skewed by the temperature of the engine block, the weather, or the pouring in of oil. And as you get a more refined or defined reading, and you can see it's somewhat between the min and max levels. And as earlier highlighted, stick the dipstick in, turn the cap clockwise to close out, take out the tissue, the can and the funnel, close the bonnet and start your engine, okay? And hopefully the engine oil fault code illuminated on the dashboard should disappear when we turn the ignition. And as you can see, the engine oil fault code is no longer evident. And that's about it really. If you found the information useful, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Helps the channel grow, and hopefully catch up with you later. Thank you for your time and thank you for listening. Goodbye.